I really believe that Friday of the Knoxville Nationals is the most intense night. You have over 80 cars running for only 4 spots left in the Saturday finale, and if you don't make something happen here, your weekend is basically over. Well, it's officially Hard Knocks Friday here at the Knoxville Nationals, and this is everyone's final shot to get into Saturday's $185,000 to win race, but a race that also pays $15,000 just to take the green. Yeah, you heard me right. That's simply an incredible purse. This is the best purse that all of our teams race for throughout the season. So along with the money, the prestigiousness just to make the race, in general, there's just a lot on the line, and that's why Friday's a big deal, because we now all have a second shot to get into the A. So you might be wondering, how does the format work for this night? So here in a little bit, we're gonna be getting in our fire suits. We're gonna do engine heat, we're gonna hot lap, and we're gonna qualify. Now, since there's more cars tonight, they're splitting us up into Flight A and Flight B. After qualifying, Flight A will heat race against each other with the 4-car invert, and Flight B will do the same thing, and then they will be transferring the top 3 after inverting 4 from the heat races directly to tonight's A. Then they will line us up straight up off of points, so it's important to qualify and get through your heat. If you can do that, you can find yourself up front in clean air and an opportunity to be in the big show. So that's what we're all chasing. Then they're going to be transferring the top 4 finishers from tonight's A main event directly into the last 4 spots for tomorrow, and everyone else has to run a B, C, D, E main event, the alphabet soup, exactly what we don't want to be doing. So you got to be on it tonight, you got to make it happen, and you got to put your car on the line to do so. So we just wrapped up qualifying in our flight to start the day. Ended up 7th quick out of 40 or 41 cars. Luckily our pill draw helped going out a little earlier, but we still, ran a good time. Ran the top the first lap. That wasn't great. I made a few mistakes. The second lap I dropped to the bottom of 3 and 4 and hit it really well and jumped right up to 4th. Then a couple guys went and knocked me down a few spots. If I could change anything about my lap, I would have just been maybe, that much higher above the bottom, just because the bottom's been so greasy every night. They've had this track so wet, and if one guy goes down there, it kind of knocks some slime across the track. So I was just a little bit low, didn't want to miss the bottom, and that probably slowed me down just a tiny bit. So now moving us into a heat race, we're going to start outside front row, and they're going to be transferring the top 3. It's going to be key that we get a good start, try to get in some clean air, and then also hopefully don't have any stoppages to kind of bunch everyone together. But we are going to be in the first heat race, which means the track's going to be the fastest. Hopefully, like I said, we can just get going, do our thing, and make it into tonight's A.
Take a deep breath.
Justin Clark watching the field as they roll toward the white line in turn number 4. Side by side and nose to tail, we're green. Heat race number 1 brought to you by Your Life Iowa.
Down the front stretch into turn number 1. Out to the early lead, Jack Dover.
Oh, trouble in turn number 1. Car upside down. McKenna Hassey getting over a wheel and taking a wild ride in turn number 1.
Tanner Holmes gets the win in heat race number 1. Tanner, last year you came to Hard Knox, didn't even make the show. Tonight you're in. Do you like the position you're sitting in?
Yeah, I feel like we should be okay. Hopefully we shake out starting in the top 10. Mainly just been trying to make changes to this thing, you know, the last couple weeks on this trip out here, just trying to get the car more drivable, and feel like we've made that progress. So that was, you know, granted I was out in clean air, but you know, some of the better laps. So just want to thank my team and family for putting so much into this, and Shane DeWald, DZ, the boss, Steck, Orville Tax. We have a lot of great more partners too. I know a lot of them are watching. So this feels good and gives us a chance to maybe sneak in one of the last golden tickets tomorrow. Well, a fantastic heat race there for us. We started on the front row and led almost every single lap. Got the jump on the first start, and I was quickly disappointed because the red flag came out, and kind of what was going through my head is, you know, I ran kind of right through the middle there on that start, right off the right rear of the leader, and since I got around him and then the red coming out, I'm like, man, I just kind of showed my line. So on the next start, sure enough, he kind of moved up. I did the same thing and wasn't able to pick him off on that first lap, but maybe like a lap and a half later, I just kind of stayed on his right rear. He eventually dropped to the bottom, and I just tried to carry momentum because track has a lot of grip. It's just a little cooler, and it seems like the track's just holding more moisture. So I just stayed on his right rear, and eventually was kind of able to drive off straight off of 4 and get next to him, and then take the lead and lead the rest of the laps. My car probably felt the best it's felt this entire trip at Knoxville. I felt like I could just kind of, like I said, drive through the middle, even as it started to go away just a little bit, carry momentum, get to the top, and just work on running the best laps that I can. And overall, I can tell you it's a much different feeling when you feel like you're driving and kind of guiding your race car than when it's driving you. So we're in the show. We'll see where we're going to start, probably right in the middle somewhere. So we still have work to do, but it feels good to be in the A. So here's a look at the exit of turn 2 at the Knoxville Raceway. I would say with just the C's, the B's, and the A main events, it's a little more rare for the track to look just like this, especially in August. I mean, the racetrack just has a ton of grip, and it's been like that majority of the night. A lot of that grip kind of comes from the bottom, and as guys run, they just continue to make the middle dirtier and dirtier, and not dirty with like slick crumbs. I mean, this has a lot of moisture. You can feel it just walking across it with your feet. So like I said, there's still more laps to go before the A main event, but I'm expecting probably a little bit faster pace. Gonna need some extra tear-offs. It looks like we're gonna be rolling off from the 5th row inside starting position, so 9th. So we gotta pass 5 cars to get to that top 4, those 4 golden tickets into the big one. But yeah, like I said, at this point, all we can do is what we can do. Keep working on our race car. I mean, we're gonna have to make adjustments, but I don't think we're gonna have to go as far, just because, I mean, we're gonna have to stay a little bit free. It's easy to get balled up, especially once you're behind cars and not in any clean air. But here's one last little look at the racing surface behind me. Ready? Okay, so I don't know where we finished there in the feature. I think we dropped back a spot or two, maybe even 3. I don't know. I just wasn't able to run a good 25 laps. Kind of frustrating that we weren't able to move forward. A couple times I just ended up being in the wrong spot. Like guys got fouled up, or I allowed one guy to get inside me and kind of fouled me up. It just, like I said, some of the wrong spots at the wrong time. But also I just didn't feel as comfortable as I wanted with our car. The track kind of changed a little bit, and I just wasn't able to be freed up enough to run the top. And I was almost like tight on the bottom as well. So like I said, I just felt kind of balled up rolling around, and I was trying to move my wing to get the car to feel more comfortable, keep the wing up on top of me and keep my car driving, and it didn't matter really where I moved it. I never felt better, so that kind of sucked. But overall, it is what it is. Car's in one piece. Just Knoxville's a tricky place, and there's a huge difference between clean air like we had in the heat and then dirty air like we had there in the feature. It's 2 completely different race cars, and we definitely could have done some stuff to be better. And like I said, I was just trying to drive the heck out of it, get every ounce of it. Probably was actually hurting me a little. So anyway, we finished Hard Knox Night. I think that'll put us at the main event come tomorrow evening.